Hi there, and welcome to our second orientation video for financial statements. We're going to take another in-depth look at ways you can interact with a profit and loss statement. This time, we're looking at individual branches or companies within the organization and how to easily look at their profit and loss statements. I have a standard profit and loss for my consolidated business on the screen here, but I'm interested in the P&L performance for my branches. I've got dimensions set up in my financial statements that allow me to slice and dice my data by different things, such as company, branch, or country and region. In this case, I'm going to click on the branch dimension. This drops me into a Phocas grid, and I can see summary performance of each of my branches. I'm interested in looking at the performance of branch 1 within my organization. So I select it, and then I hit the summary button, which takes me back to the financial statement view. I'm now looking at a profit and loss statement for my first branch. This is a very easy way of getting a quick snapshot of the performance of one of my branches. To remove the filter that I put on my profit and loss statement, I just click the X here. I may want to look at more than one branch, so again I'm going to drop into the Phocas grid on the branch dimension. I'm interested in the performance of the first 4 branches within my organization, so I've selected all 4. I now hit the summary button, and I'm looking at the profit and loss of the combination of my first 4 branches, and I can tell this by hovering over the filter icon. So as you can see, it's very easy to take a filtered view of the performance of your business, and it can be based on any of the dimensions that you've got set up in your database. As before in the previous video, once you've configured a particular view, this time with just 4 branches, I can easily move through my different profit and loss statements. So if I'm interested in the metrics for the various branches I have within my business, I can click the metrics profit and loss. And I'm now looking at that particular profit and loss statement for those 4 branches. So I can easily move backwards and forwards from the various profit and losses. So now we've looked at filtering a profit and loss by branches. Now let's go to the next level. I'm interested in looking at the performance of some of my branches, but instead of combining their profit and losses, I want to see them next to each other. As before, I'm going to drop down into the Phocas grid by clicking on the branch dimension. I'm interested in looking at branches 1 and 3, and I want to do a side-by-side comparison of their profit and loss. I need to press the matrix button up here. This presents my 2 branches side by side in the grid. Once I've done this, I can click back on the summary button and I will see their statements. I'm now looking at branch 1's P&L and branch 3's P&L side by side, and I've also got the combined total on the left hand side. This is a very convenient way of comparing entities within your organization in a side-by-side view of the P&L. I can matrix more than 2 branches. If I really want to, I could matrix a large number of my branches. In this case, I'm going to look at the performance of the first 6 branches. Again, I've selected them in the grid, and then I'm going to hit the matrix button to produce a columnar view of those branches. Once I've matrixed them, I hit the financial statements summary button, and sure enough, I'm now looking at 6 of my branches on a side-by-side basis. Now, the data here can get quite intense, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove my previous period, so I'm just looking at my performance to budget. This makes the data somewhat easier to consume. I now can compare on a side-by-side basis the performance of my branches to budget. There's yet another way to interrogate your profit and loss using your dimensions like branch and company. In this instance, I've got my P&L set up with the percentage contribution column turned on. This can be done using the columns menu and selecting the option percentage contribution. I can click on my branch dimension and drag it into the levels box like so. Now, when I expand my profit and loss statement, I can see the revenue contributions for each of my branches. I can see, for example, that branch 1 is contributing 6.5% of revenue for the financial period. Branch 12 is a little bit of a concern. It's only contributing 3% of revenue. If I scroll down and look at operating expenses, I can see that branch 12 is contributing 8.8% of operating expenses and yet only delivering 3% of revenue. And this potentially could be concerning. So using levels and dragging dimensions into the levels area is another way of doing dimensional analysis using your profit and loss statement. So that concludes our look at different ways you can change the profit and loss layout to give you additional insights into the way your business is performing. I just want to finish up by saying that all of these different views of a P&L can be saved as favorites in Phocas. And that means that it's very easy to just quickly move from one view to another. So if I want to look at a matrixed P&L, I can select that favorite. Or if I want to quickly look at last period, I can select that favorite. Or if I want to look at different profit and loss statements, it's very easy to switch from one view to another using favorites. Thanks for watching.